And Romania and Uruguay came out to vote and to select their next president. Romanians voters in the capital, Bucharest, turned out to choose a successor to outgoing centrist President Klaus Iohannis, who is completing his second and final term. Meanwhile, in Uruguay, the centre-left opposition candidate Armando Orsi secured victory in the presidential election. DD India's Rahul Upadhyay brings us more on this.
It was election weekend for Romania and Uruguay as they came out to vote and choose their next president. Romanians turned out to vote in the capital Bucharest on Sunday to replace outgoing centrist Klaus Iohannis, who is at the end of his second and last term. Calin Georgescu, a hard-right Romanian politician and known NATO critic, has emerged as a surprising contender in the upcoming presidential runoff election. Georgescu was in pole position with 22.94% of the ballot, while centre-right contender Elena Lasconi was second with 19.16%.
I am happy that he is honest, is facing reality, and I wish him good luck.
The president, who is limited to 2 5-year terms, has a semi-executive role which includes heading Romania's armed forces and chairing the Supreme Defense Council that decides on military aid. The president represents Romania at EU and NATO summits and appoints the Prime Minister, chief judges, prosecutors and Secret Service heads. The current head of state, Klaus Iohannis, won power in 2014 on a promise to bolster the fight against endemic corruption. Russia has issued a remark in which they said that they did not know much about a pro-Moscow Romanian politician who is in pole position to become the EU member's next president.
I would refrain from any forecast yet. Perhaps it is not possible to say that we are closely familiar with the views of this candidate, in part with those about relations with our country. We are well aware of the Romanians' current leadership. It is not a friendly country for us. So we will be watching the further development of electoral process and who is going to win.
Uruguay's centre-left opposition candidate Armando Orsi secured victory in the presidential election with 99% of the votes tallied in a second-round race. Armando Orsi secured a small but comfortable margin of 49.81% of the vote to conservative Alvaro Delgado's 45.90%.
I am going to be the president who builds a more integrated society, a more integrated country, where in addition, despite the differences, no one can ever be left behind from an economic, social and also political point of view.
Both Delgado and Uruguay's president, fellow National Party member Luis Lacalle Pou, conceded the election, swiftly congratulating Orsi and offering to help with the transition after results signaled a victory for the centre-left. Rahul Upadhyay's report for DD India.